Get this. Weekday mornings from 9 on Triple M.
Glenn Robbins is with us this morning. What about Shonky TV?
Oh, yeah. What have you seen?
Here's what I saw on the news last night on 10. There's a protest about CFA firemen in Victoria.
Oh, yes.
And so that was the whole deal. There's going to be speeches, there's going to be a rally, there's going to be angry firemen on the steps of Parliament. But no, the big story was a woman at a window across the road.
I know.
Kept flashing her cans.
Yeah.
It was a can flash segment.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I've got the clip here, but of course, obviously you can't see the cans
Yeah.
on radio. So I've asked Matt to just point them out with a helpful sound effect.
That'd be nice.
I don't know what he's come up with, but let's listen to the clip.
A sea of uniforms lined the streets and the steps. The passion of a union rally was there, so too some unexpected but welcome support. Helping to inflame the passion, the onlooker buoyed spirits for a second time before the rally began in earnest.
Do we want LED sign? Yeah!
While the union claim remains, the fiery tempers were quickly extinguished with a final show of support from their number one fan.
Now here's Stephen revealing some of Tuesday night's sport.
You go.
Boom, boom.
But I reckon it was just the same shot. It was just the one shot, and they just kept chopping it in.
And it made the promo. It made the promo for the news. It made you going, come on, guys, that is not newsworthy. Oh, hang on. No, I'm wrong. It is.
It
What
is
am I
very-
saying? It's very newsworthy.
And the can's got a much bigger cheer than the kind of than the reforms they were
Who
hoping
knows
for.
what the firemen are angry
Yeah,
about? I couldn't care. I don't know. And in tonight's news, that's all that's important. I love how he's gone for the old Alvin Purple Aruga. We might keep that on standby because that's what we want people to call up about. Just shonky things you've seen on TV.
Yeah.
Things that they shouldn't be getting away with, you mean?
Oh, just, pretty much anything.
Anything?
Yeah, just something out of the
Have you
ordinary,
seen
something
anything
odd.
I don't know whether this is bad or shonky, but I remember watching a telethon, and you get a lot of shonky stuff on telethons. And this guy was coming in to give his money across, and what he said he was going to do was run around Albert Park Lake down in Melbourne backwards.
Sweet.
And on his body, he had mounted two of those mirrors that you get on trucks.
Good idea.
Great.
And he had them like, they had the contraption like
Yep.
there,
Yep.
so he could actually run, and he was deadly serious.
Yes.
And he was going to run all day backwards, and people were going to donate money. And he came in, he was quite sad because people were laughing at him, throwing things at him, trying to trip him up. I mean, that is funny, isn't it? But
How
anyway.
far did he get? Because you can only run a couple of feet backwards, and then it all goes horribly wrong.
But it looked fantastic. He had the contraption. It was great, which would come in handy, obviously, in your life to have one of those contraptions.
Just
you know.
following you.
To have the mirrors just at all times would be good.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, you can go, those kids are stealing Chiquitos. No matter where you are.
It's like those glasses that had the mirrors up, the teachers always had. When the teacher was writing on the blackboard,
That's right.
you go, I can see you, Thompson, what you're doing. One of my teachers had one of those.
They were called see behind you glasses.
Really?
And you could order them in the comics.
Yeah, and they were right next to the X-ray glasses.
That's right. And the X-ray glasses had a picture of somebody looking at their hand, and they could see the bones in their hand, and then just alluringly on the horizon, woman with huge breasts. And so the implication was, wow, if that's me hand, imagine what's going to happen when I look over there. See a skeleton, presumably.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Absolutely.
But you order the glasses, and you know what they were?
What?
Did you ever order them, Glenn?
No.
It was a pair of glasses with a sticker of the bones of your hand on the inside of the lens. How's that for shonky?
I mean, if you're going to, you may well go straight for the breasts. I mean, seriously, if you're going to put something in there.
We've all seen a bit of shonky TV in our time.
Yep.
We've all helped create some.
Absolutely.
Sarah, how are you?
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Good. What have you seen?
It was on TV. Two
Good.
people cleaning an elephant, giving him a bath.
What show is this?
I don't know. It was ages ago. It was cable TV.
Oh, I think it's the Clean Your Elephant channel.
Yeah, that's it.
So what happened?
Well, there was a lady at the front with the hose and the brush, and a guy at the back who was like sitting down doing the back of the elephant. And the lady at the front moved her hand, and that was a command for the elephant to sit. And it sat on this guy's head,
And?
and this guy's head was stuck up the elephant's bum
Yes.
for ages, and he's trying to push push his head out. Finally, the elephant, shut it out, sort of thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it was gross. But, I mean, his head was in there for ages.
So how long was the head up there, do you reckon? Like when he came out, was Shannon Knoll ready with the song? Did Eddie Maguire immediately bust out a special?
Probably, yeah.
Got to meet the Prime Minister?
Haven't elephants got really long memories? I mean, isn't that elephant every day he sees that guy walk in, he's just backing his ass to the wall going, "You're not sticking your head up my ass again today. I'll take the peanuts and that's it."
Who's that? Is Fifi Box?
Yes.
Give her a round.
Hello, boys.
Hang on a second. What are you wearing under that coat there, Fifi? Let's have a look. Sorry, can you just open that coat again? How do you do that?
Look, I mean, it does look like I've just come back from a nightclub. But
it does. It actually does.
That is not the case. I have lost my entire wardrobe. Now, I know that sounds bizarre,
Right.
but I left, and I don't know how I did this. I mean, people leave watches, mobile phones, maybe their jacket in a taxi. I left my entire suitcase in the boot of a taxi. And for some reason, the taxi lost property department is like Fort Knox. You can't get into it. I have to lodge a complaint and then wait 5 days to hear back from them whether my brown suitcase is in their lost property department.
So there's cabbies getting around in your gear for 5 days.
Yes.
Check out what else she's got.
And all
Fifi Box.
And all I've got is this low-cut cocktail dress to wear.
Way!
We're just going to keep playing that sound till everybody hates us.
But I will keep this trench coat on just to keep it all under.
Hooters is trying to reopen in Australia.
Whoa! Did you know that was coming?
I'm glad it did. It's a few years ago, Fei Fei had a few around town, and they closed down as a lack of patronage.
Did they really? I didn't realise they were here.
Yeah, they were, and now they're going to reopen 2 in Sydney and 1 on the Gold Coast. That's a good move. And the picture. Check this out, Fifi. Look at they're trying to make it more like a family restaurant. So they've got one of the girls in the singlet, right, with a nice family, and just maybe a 13-year-old boy staring at her boobs.
And there's a waitress being used as a high chair because it is, of course, a family restaurant.
And the line of text underneath it actually says, "Sex in the suburbs."
Oh.
While there's a 13-year-old boy talking to her. You can't do that.
Come on, kids, it's off to Hooters. You know you love it.
I have to actually put my hand up and say I have been approached about being possibly the ambassador.
For Hooters?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It was just mentioned in a meeting, and I was asked to go and consider it.
What meeting? What, at Hooters Corp, at the Hooters building, or here at the station?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So we're involved.
So that's where the sizzle's coming
There
from
it
now.
goes.
We've been told we're not playing enough music, crapping on too much. You've been told, tits ahoy. There's some big thinking going on around here. Where are you now? What about Charlie Sheen?
Sheen Watch.
Is that your theme, is it?
So far, so good.
It's been like 3 hours recording a jingle for your webpage segment, and you've come up with Sheen Watch.
Well, you've got the wrong note. Never mind, yeah.
We really do need the Mr. Sheen. Well, that wasn't musical enough. Right. We need the Mr. Sheen jingle. That's what we need.
What was that?
That name again? Oh, no, that's Mr. Plain.
You know, the little cartoon man, he was running around the coffee table.
Where are you now?
Do you know, I have to say, Charlie Sheen is a massive disappointment to me.
Really?
Yeah. And
he didn't put out?
No. Well, I loved Sheeny when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
and I put him up, and he disappointed me back then with those sex videos and the pornos and the strippers. But then he came back with West Wing. No,
was he in that?
No, that was
Spin
Rob
City.
Lowe. Actually, sorry, I've got my 80s movie heroes confused.
It's easy to see how that would happen, though.
I love Rob Lowe. So sorry.
Charlie Sheen.
Back onto Sheen Watch.
Because I was going, what did Fifi like when she was younger? Just a huge fan of Men at Work when they were garbos.
Bad. So what's going on in Sheen Watch?
Oh, there is so much. I'm knee deep in Sheen. Firstly, he's come second to some Viennese porter as in the Maxim magazine's Living Legends of Sex Top 10.
Hey, what is this, by number?
Yeah, I don't know how they've actually obtained the figures, but Charlie Sheen has It says a reported 5,000 conquests. Charlie Sheen recently split with his wife, Denise Richards, allegedly after telling her she was among the hottest 1,000 women he had slept with. You're in the top 1,000, love. That's a compliment, isn't it?
Romantic.
If your boyfriend said that you were in the top 1,000, would you take that as a compliment, Fifi?
I'd be singing, "Where are you now?"
Sorry, are we still on air? I think we are.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, so he's come in second there to Umberto Billo, a Viennese porter at a hotel who is so exhausted he can no longer carry the guests' luggage.
What?
It's just, how do they get a figure like that? How do you have all these, like, there's Bill Wyman's in there at number 10, Magic Johnson, Lemmy from Motorhead's come in at number 8.
Really?
The lights must have been off.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, Ilian Nastasi, Engelbert Humperdinck, Julio Iglesias, Gene Simmons, Charlie Sheen at number 2, Viennese hotel porter at number 1. How is
It's
that
a
happen?
illustrious company.
Charlie Sheen is one of the people who reckons that shot of the plane crashing into the Pentagon has been faked. He's a conspiracy. How does
he didn't.
How does he have time for conspiracy theories between rootin'? How does he have time for that?
No idea.
Right, so imagine Charlie Sheen just looking at that.
And saying that didn't actually happen.
What is it?
That's digitally enhanced.
Yeah.
There's no hot chicks in that photograph. Why would he be looking at it? It does look, admittedly, like a dildo is heading for the Pentagon. Maybe that's what got his interest.
I'm going to make a call here. I'm worried Charlie Sheen's not long for this world. You can't be in the US of A and say that didn't happen.
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy behind that.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they wouldn't have any incriminating footage of Charlie Sheen.
Maybe he was flashing back to the West because his father is actually the president
Ah,
in the
there
Pentagon
you
in
go.
the West Wing.
Right.
And maybe he's gotten, drama confused with reality.
Well, listen to this. Charlie Sheen's secret drag queen romps, pardon me. According to a US report, Charlie Sheen has spent quality time with drag queens, including transsexual porn star Kayla Cox. I don't want to comment, says Kayla, but I will say I'm sick of buying cheerleading outfits.
I actually heard that Charlie said that she was in the top 3,000 hottest drag queens that he'd been with, which was special.
Where are you now? What about Charlie's online dating shame?
What?
I'm just the Sheen file is so chockers this week.
Sheen file.
We've got, listen to this. He's put himself, because he's clearly not,
Getting enough.
the numbers aren't up
Yeah,
there.
absolutely
He's
right.
chasing the Viennese porter.
What's going on the internet?
He's put himself on the internet on millionairematch.com, a website catering to high earners looking for love. In his profile, Charlie describes himself as a hot divorced Virgo with a $10 million salary whose potential partner needs to be willing to endure the paparazzi and has no hang-ups about their partner's past.
And present and future.
So that is on the internet. Charlie's
Best of
on
luck,
dating
Charles.
shame.
And mind you, he's not divorced. I don't think it's even been filed.
No.
I mean,
No, that's true.
yes, they've just broken up.
There's just a lot of ugly details.
Mm.
Yeah. So Charlie Sheen is at number 2. Who would be at number 11 on that list?
I'm invincible.
There he is.
I'm paying money. The girl's happy. She's got no money. I got my rocks off. Oh, how good is this?
Look, I just have to point out, Fifi is on the shebang.
Yep.
Heard every afternoon, 4 to 6 on all Triple M's, except Adelaide. I have to always say except Adelaide.
I know.
What did you do? What did Marty say?
I'm not sure. I'm going to blame Marty, but it may have something to do with me or the fact that we're too young because Triple M Adelaide went a bit older.
Skewed older.
And apparently we were a bit too young.
But there is a half-hour time delay. I mean, so you are technically older by the time you heard. But no, I reckon Marty must have slagged off a beloved Adelaide personality. He's probably gone to town on Ann Wills.
Who's Ann Wills?
Ann Wills is, well, it's hard to explain, but my annual Logie's joke was to say Ann Wills has once again won the award for most regional personality.
There you go.
Because she was just constantly winning that award. Yep. And if we're going to open up the microphone, Look, we're going to do it. Here he is, Mr. Marsbar, who panels the show.
Marsbar.
Say hello.
How you going? Great.
You're not going to give yourself a round of applause?
No, why should I?
Give yourself the horn.
Yeah, give yourself.
Check him out.
I already do.
And I met Richard here when I was in Adelaide promoting something dodgy, and I had to go on what was described to me just before I went on air as the second to last ever Ann Wills show. Is that right?
That's right. It was called AM Adelaide, and it was on air for so many years. It was originally called A Touch of Elegance.
Oh.
Ooh. What kind of stings did they have in that?
Oh, man, it was amazing. It was very soft screen, a lot of cursive calligraphy writing in the titles, and it was a show called AM Adelaide. It was a live daily infotainment show.
Yes, and you actually interviewed me, didn't you?
Yeah, for Bad Eggs.
Because I wasn't, I wasn't quite big enough to actually speak to Anne.
No.
That's right, and everyone was sort of, they would always do segments in like 3 or 4 minutes, and they had Tony down for 4, and I said, look, we've got to push it out to 10. Because and as well, we were doing the interview on Hello Ground. It was the original Potluck Studios.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was very impressive.
The place just stank of Ernie Sigley. It did,
Oda
but
So hang on, Richard, you were actually...
sidekick.
You were Anne's...
Ann Will's sidekick.
Barrel boy.
Wonderful place to be. Yeah. All my dreams come true.
You were Ann Will's bitch, man. And what were you... it was like the second to last show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was getting axed, and we were being replaced by Ricky Lake.
And I'm being interviewed by Richard, and there's like blokes walking around the set with tape measures and working out, can we resell this? How much do you reckon Ann Wills will get on the open market?
Yeah, we had accountants drifting through on the second to last week, just pointing at light fixtures, saying how much they could sell. Beautiful, amazing.
And do you have any clue, as an Adelaide person, what the shebang may have done to Rich off here? Is it simply that they're too young?
Well, I know that whenever Marty talks about Adelaide, he looks back on it fondly, his time in Adelaide. The Central Markets he was a big fan of, the South Australian National Football League, of course. He became a Panthers supporter, South Adelaide.
Yeah, he's very protective of Adelaide.
He's bagged somebody.
Surprised.
He's thrown the phrase shallow bushgrave into a sentence that maybe he shouldn't have. Something's happened. Yes. SBS starting to run ads. Well, they've already had ads, obviously, between the shows. Now there's going to be ads during the shows.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but do you reckon, because when they started doing ads on SBS, the talk was always classy.
Yes.
We're going to have classy ads.
European cars and...
Yeah. But I don't like them. I think every ad should be the bloke who runs the shop doing it himself.
I love that stuff.
Doesn't matter how big the corporation is.
I love that stuff.
Bloke in charge should declare himself to be crazy.
It should start with him locked in the basement in a straitjacket, struggling to get free.
Actually, what happened to poor Sid? Remember those ads when we were crazy? You had, Sid with the parrot on his Sydney's...
He got out crazy by Crazy John.
There was a lot of legal action, and Crazy John was sued by
Ken Bruce went mad, and what happened to Ken Bruce?
Ken Bruce went completely mad. There's a wonderful...
For bargains or properly mad?
It was just a genuine insanity.
Oh, wow.
He was just curled up in the fetal position inside one of his own fridges.
Dedication.
There's a wonderful tribute to Ken Bruce going completely mad on the last TISM album.
Is there?
Yes, on the White Album, if you want to check that out. But I do love a bloke doing his own ad.
Yeah.
And you know what? We haven't had one of those.
No.
On Get This. I think it's time to fix
Any
that.
G'day. My name's Grant Spatchcock, and I reckon you should come down to my pizza shop and get some pizza. It's not your normal pizza. It's like, gourmet pizza, like, with shallots and shit on it.
There's never been a better time for gourmet pizza. And nobody knows gourmet pizza like Grant Spatchcock.
Yeah, it's got like bloody, feta cheese and parmesan, gourmet cheese, like Kraft squares, but, not as orange. It's got shaved bacon shavings on it, or other gourmet shit, like beetroot and tiramisu, bloody capers and shit like that, capsicums and, I don't know, all that other pesto shit. It's all been, drizzled with juice. Not juice, I don't mean. Then we've got like pineapple. Did I say beetroot? We got a machine that's got like Spring Valleys and that in it. For vegans, we got some meat. Dijon mustard. That's from like France, which is in Trelgan. You can get it on like panini or focaccia. We've got rocket. We've got heaps of that shit, mate. We can do f***ing anything. We've got a salad bar that's been drizzled with juice as well. We've got a tapenade. I don't know what it f***ing does. You'll bloody bar up when you see some of this shit. So it's all gourmet, but it's all cooked in a bloody f***ing, wood-fired, one of them f***ing things. It's cooked with fire, but it's their gourmet flames. Thousand Island dressing, we've got that. It's, the gourmet version. Maybe it's got a few more f***ing islands in there, I don't know. I just scull it. I just go, chuck us some of that Thousand Island shit, mate. I'm going to knock some of that back. Artichokes, been marinated in juice.
If you're thinking gourmet pizza, think Grand Spatchcock Gourmet Pizza. Just like Mama used to defrost.
G'day, Graham Spatchcock's Pizza Shop. Yeah, I'm Grant Spatchcock. Have you seen the ad? Oh, mate, if you come in and mention the ad, mate, I'll punch your f***ing head in. I f***ing hate that ad.
Matthew Quartermaine is our co-host this morning.
Yeah. Honoured.
Do you remember when The Big Gig was on, and it was in the VHS era?
Oh, yeah.
People used to tape your little Lager Boys things where you and Matt Parkinson would hit each other with singlets on, because there was always a couple of frames of subliminal pornography.
That's
Would you
correct.
be old enough to remember
What?
this?
Yeah.
He just looked up from his sandwich.
We got his attention. Yeah, there was always like it was a porn grab. It was basically we were doing the hard sell, and that's the hardest sell. You can get. So, and people used to like get it and slow it down.
How much porn?
Oh well, actually,
It's about 2 frames.
It's about 10 seconds or something. But it was someone's job in there to go look. Someone took it upon themselves to go, no, sorry, I'm busy today. I'm out looking at the porn.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's tax deductible.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. We used to do on The Late Show, we did a thing called freeze frame theatre.
Yes.
We just have like 24 frames in 24 seconds. And you just go past like that. Did you ever slow that down and read it? It was just all pictures of bottoms.
Was it?
Bizarre letters to the editor and actual complaints in the ABC complaints book about our program. And it would just go by in less than a second.
We had little messages when they slowed down the porn of like, you dirty old man.
All right. We have, in fact, there's one subliminal Rex Hunt in every episode of Get This. If you're listening closely enough. Ed, you used to work at a video shop.
I did.
Did you ever get these 2 movies? Strike of the Panther, Day of the Panther.
No.
Kung Fu movies.
What were they?
Shot in Perth.
Yeah. Excellent.
Just before I left, about 86.
Okay.
Directed by BDS, Brian Trenchard Smith.
Correct.
The man who made Turkey Shoot, Dead End Drive-In.
Yes.
And, what others did he do?
Titanic?
That was him. La Notte. That one with the kid from E.T. came out here. Frog Dreaming.
Didn't he do Flown at All Sky High?
Man from Hong Kong.
With
which had, bloke had a grenade in his mouth, jumped off a building, always a killer ending.
Yeah. That had Sammo Hung in that one.
BMX Bandits, he did.
Did he?
Oh, all right. Now
back in the curly Nicole days.
One of the great Australian film directors that just seems to have been forgotten by history. BTS.
Absolutely.
You've worked with him. You were the comedy relief policeman.
Correct. And I scared the crap out of the guy who's been the cop with me because, I was meant to be the stumbling cop. But I'd keep doing things like we have to break down the door and we both had to kick it at the same time. Only I'd put my foot right on top of his. And I kicked the door right on his foot. And he's like jumping around, holding his foot. And they were going, it's so funny. And he kept going, he's doing it for real.
And then he ended up in the movie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But who was the lead in that? Because it was this guy. He was like
what was it about?
It was
Jason
Blade, his name was.
Yeah.
And it was obviously intended to be a sister. I have no children, Collins. That's correct. So there's all this space in my brain for stuff like that. But it was going to be like, obviously, a series of Australian kung fu movies.
That's right. And it turned out this guy was a stuntman, and the bad guy was his stuntman friend. And the fight sequences are pretty good, but he couldn't act. And his voice was so weird and high, they dubbed him.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Because he was up against, I think Rowena Wallace was the bad guy in one of them.
Yeah, Rowena was in the second one, yep.
And in the other one, it was one of our fruitier thespians, Michael Carmen.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays
the bad guy at the flip-up Sunnies.
And he's a villain on a yacht, and he has this line, Jason Blade, at last we meet.
Something as subtle as that. And I believe we actually used one of Laurie Connell's his mansion.
Bank accounts? No.
His mansion. There were 3 mansions he was knocking down to make one in like Peppy Grove, the expensive place in Perth.
Yeah.
And we used one of them before he knocked it down.
Oh, look, if only the Panther series had continued.
I'd be working now.
Have we gone back to our movie show?
A little bit.
I've done it again. We're meant to be talking about crime.
History.
Is there
Did you
any...
get to kick any ass, Matt, in the movies?
No, I
doors.
wanted to. I wanted to say, please, just give me a go with the nunchuckers. I promise you, I'll knock myself out.
I think you drive a forklift off a jetty.
Oh, that was the big stunt.
Sweet.
Yeah. The stuntman drove the forklift through a door, big corrugated door, and I was on the back, and it was a fake door.
You were often the bad. You were one of the bad guys in Shame with Deborah Lee Furness.
That's correct. I was a bikie, barman, or cop. That's me.
Call now. Chris Isaak and Kennydale Johnson are our guests this morning. This Best of Chris Isaak is a CD, but it's also got a DVD of all your clips, and it's just a parade of you romping with hot babes, basically.
It was a vision.
It's a brilliant scam you're running.
I'm a visionary. I'm a poet. Just trying to bring the music to life, you know what I mean?
Not getting any action. Well, time to put out another single.
Chris, on this instrumental, what do you think about this one? What's your vision?
I mean, that
girl, kind of a big, chesty kind of a thing, and we're wrestling kind of on a beach, maybe? Something like that? I don't know.
Times 18, that's what you've got here. Because the one for the song Baby Did a Bad Bad Thing, I mean, that is surely one of the 5 greatest video clips of all time.
A lot of fun.
Who was that woman? Letitia Custer, is that who she is?
Yeah, she's on French Money, isn't she?
She's on the French Money.
No, I'm serious.
She should be.
I'm serious.
Right.
I think she's
is that
like,
where you tip the Frank note up
like
and her clothes fall off?
Her picture is like, I think her picture's on some French Money. I don't know why, but it is.
They run out of politicians?
Yeah, I get. They went, enough with the old politicians. How about this girl?
That makes a lot of sense.
Let's get the supermodels onto the currency. But that's a fantastic clip. And, of course, that was in possibly the best thing about that Stanley Kubrick movie, too. Eyes Wide Shut.
We went to see that movie, because I had music and I had to go to like 3 different openings.
Oh, my God.
And we went to 3 different openings and I watched the movie 3 times and it was like, I liked it because I like Kubrick stuff, but I don't get it.
No.
Some strange stuff.
They could have done
when my song came on, I'd always jump up and yell.
I wrote that!
They should have had your song on during the orgy. So it was just somebody hitting the same note on a piano for about 25 minutes.
There was a young woman who did the soundtrack, and they said at some point, and she's very serious, dressed up, and they said, Chris, this is the woman who wrote the soundtrack. And I met her, and I had to bite my tongue. I was going, hey, that was pretty easy work, wasn't it? Bong. Bing.
Remove your clothes.
Bong. I'm going, what are you? You're listening to the doorbell and you said, that counts. That's good enough.
No, that was baffling. I preferred the trailer.
You didn't go out whistling the soundtrack, did you?
You say a monkey picks all your music?
Yeah. I'm afraid so.
Tell them about it wasn't actually monkeys, wasn't it? It was
was a chimpanzee.
Well, they're a little bigger than a monkey.
Well, they're strong, right?
It comes into play later on.
Yeah, this couple brings a monkey over from wherever, and they've got it in L.A. and then it gets out of hand, so they give it to a farm.
Get the picture though. It's like we're gonna raise this monkey, give it a loving home.
Didn't know you could bring a monkey back first, but anyway, so they decided to bring the monkey a birthday cake, as you do.
Yeah, sure.
and
they miss the monkey now.
Yeah, right. So they go to the farm, they give the monkey a birthday cake, but all these other monkeys are in there, and they get mad. And they jump on the guy.
Yes, you would.
And they bite his face off first.
Right, yep.
And
here's slower. I like this part.
Well, here's something that was confounding, Tony.
Confounding.
Honey, we brought the monkey a birthday cake. It's so lovely. We're part of nature, too. Now we're supporting the monkey.
And as a thank you, the monkey grabs his testicles and pops them right off. Now, I didn't know they were modular.
What was the sound effect? Honey, he just popped my testicles off.
Boy, he's ungrateful, frankly. But I didn't know they did that.
And you were worried that might bring our show down into the gutter.
Yeah.
Where it lives.
I guess so.
Well, that's better than the other monkey story with our tour manager. Tell him that one.
No, you don't.
How many monkey stories have you guys got?
We've got monkey stories.
Sitting on monkey gold.
I'll tell you that. I'll tell him that one.
Okay.
I got to edit it, but he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
My manager, tour manager, was out and he went to like Hong Kong or something. They had walking down the street, and he says, "There's a big like chimp standing there," and he goes, "Wow, a chimp!" And he goes, and the guy says, "Yeah, you can take your picture with the chimp." And it's like, $1 or something. He says, oh, cool, and he stands next to the chimp, and he's taking a picture with the chimp. He says, and he looks down, and the chimp is all sexually excited.
That's what chimps do.
He says, and he's going like, take the picture. Let me, I'm done. And he says, all of a sudden, the chimp has got his, put his arm around his shoulder, and then his other arm reaches over and takes his hand and is
you joking.
taking his hand and pulling it towards his genitalia. And he goes, and Chris, he goes, "Chimps is really strong." I said, now, there is a horrifying situation.
And did it have a happy ending?
Happy ending. There you go.
Remember, we evolved from that. That used to be us. Yeah. That was pretty much business as usual for us.
And they still send letters to each other, I understand. Yeah, they're still in correspondence.
That's nice.
That sounds like something that could be in a David Lynch film. And Chris, we are movie nerds on this show, so I can't let you go without just telling us something about what it's like working with Lynchy.
David Lynch is like, in real life, I'm good friends with him because he's the nicest, like straight ahead guy. He's real straight ahead with his answers. We were on here. Give you an example, like MTV, the video show in the United States. They're doing an interview with David Lynch and myself, and they ask questions. They're always kind of the same, sexually, titillating kind of a question, and they go, "Ha ha," And they said, "David, what kind of girl turns you on?" and you're waiting. You're going, "Well, okay, we make some kind of a sexual joke, and then they'll ha-ha." But David just is straight, and he goes, "What kind of girl turns me on?" Well, he goes, "I like high-heeled shoes, red." He goes, "I don't know why, but red really turns me on, and I like the black stockings that are the chain stitch." And he just goes detail by detail. He goes into it, and I go, "There's nothing there to make a joke about." He goes, "You asked me? I told you."
You can't bring the horns in at that point. And what exactly was your character in Twin Peaks? Were you only in the movie?
I was
in Firewalk with
Desmond. I was the Firewalk with me. I was Agent Chet Desmond, the FBI guy, and I still don't know what happens to me in that movie because at one point I just disappear,
right.
And in the script it's I'm reading the script and it's going along and it says, this massive blue light explodes and Chet Desmond disappears like into the blue light. So the day they're going to shoot this, they bring all these lights and set them up, and I hear this bzzz, and it blows up. And then I see David talking with this guy, and he goes, "Well, we'll just have to shoot it some other way." And it basically, it's like, I think they had a big special effect plan for I was going to, the light was going to go on, but then the light blew up and it was kind of like, well, Chris is just done then.
We can't afford to take two. Well, look, if you've got a question you'd like to ask Chris Isaak, now is your opportunity.
About music or small engine repair from me. Excellent. Kenny, what are you taking?
Tile setting.
Tile setting or sexual innuendo?
Hello, Pauline.
Hi, how you going?
Good, how are you?
You calling from the shower?
No, I'm the hands-free, doing the right thing.
Sweet.
Just wanted to know what acting stuff you got coming up. I've got just about everything I can get my hands on of you acting, including Ed White, the astronaut.
Oh, my God.
One of my favourites.
What was that in?
What was that in?
Was Tom Hanks hired me from for that series, The Earth to the Moon, and I played an astronaut. And we went and we did that thing, and it was a lot of fun to do. And then they gave us like a real astronaut. It was like the astronaut suit that I was wearing was like $200,000. It was like it's a real suit, and they put us in a capsule that's an exact replica of the capsule, so it's really tiny. And then we're in the capsule, and there's supposed to be a fire because Ed White died in a fire.
Right.
So they started the phony fire, and the thing kind of caught fire, the capsule that we're in, because it was made out of like foam and all this stuff, and it was like smoking and stuff, and we couldn't get out, and there was a guy next to me in the thing. He was a great big guy, and he was like a macho actor, and all of a sudden when the fire started, you heard like this, and he seriously and embarrassingly, he like kind of had a freak out, and like just started crying like a baby, and we all got out. And we're all standing there, and he just had that. He was just looking at his feet, and I said, man, that was crazy that they put us in there. I go, I thought I was going to die in there. Thank God they got us out. I go, I don't know how they, and he was going, yeah, it was crazy. But it was one of those things you went like, oh, man, never let that happen to me. Don't let them see that part.
And I saw that episode, and you've got the astronaut suit with rhinestones encrusted.
That's it.
Very nice.
That was my own touch.
And were you in Silence of the Lambs?
Yes, I was. I was the SWAT cop.
The SWAT cop. Have you got that one, Pauline?
Yes. Got it all.
And here, how embarrassing is this? All the other SWAT cops in the movie were real SWAT cops. No, that's true.
But could they sing?
No, they were all real SWAT cops. So like, I had to give like these gestures, and be the tough guy and like, okay, follow me, and then do the hand gesture and stuff. And these guys are all like real badasses, and here I am, the singer boy, going like, yeah, follow me, the tough guy.
We have Big Brother in this country. Would you guys know what that is? Is that from America?
All bad things are.
It bombed over there, actually, Tony.
Really?
Yeah.
Head lice, Big Brother, all come from America. You know that? Yeah. Pigeons, all from America.
Right.
Well, here what we do is we lock a lot of people in a house, and then we put a lie detector on them occasionally. And I'm not sure what sort of technology they were using with that lie detector the other day. This is what Gretel has to say, host of the show.
Remember, these answers with this detector are considered to be 90% correct, okay? The detector is 90% correct. Okay.
I mean, do the police know about this? I mean, why aren't they using the wacky light with green for yes, red for no? Look, we do have some clips. I'm sorry to involve you in this, but we've just got a bit of business to take care of here. Get this. In case you didn't see Big Brother the other night, they got the housemates hooked up to the lie detector again, and this is what happened.
Katie.
Yes.
Which two housemates do you think will be the first to get it on?
Ashley and Jamie.
Dino.
Yes.
Which housemates do you think will end up doing sad nightclub appearances or hosting a hot dogs up late style debacle?
Almost everyone.
Have you or any of the housemates thought about having a conversation that isn't about yourselves and whether you look hot?
No.
Ashley.
Yes.
Tell us something about yourself we wouldn't believe.
From coming in this house, I've become a bit more mature.
Is that true?
No.
Claire.
Yes.
Why don't any of the housemates have even a passing interest in anything that's going on outside the house?
You're not allowed to.
Galen.
No.
No, that is your name?
No.
Look, it's written on your shirt.
No.
Can you actually read?
No.
Do you think you're the stupidest person in the house?
No.
Are you trying to fly under the radar by seeming to be kind of a tool?
No.
Do you know a second word?
No.
Crystal.
Yes.
Have you ever read a book?
No.
Camilla.
Yes.
Who's been using my foundation and lippy?
David. I'll leave it at that.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Do you think you were the winner of the farting competition?
Yes.
Are you working on any new farts for this week's Up Late?
Yes.
Do you intend to progress to playing Pull My Finger?
No.
Why not?
I'm not comfortable with everyone yet.
That's a $50,000 fine.
Get this.
It's obviously completely absurd. It's puerile.
Weekday mornings from 9 on Triple M.